Hello everybody and welcome to your next TRX workout. I'm Master Instructor Amy McMullen and today I've got a quick 15-minute core workout for you meant to get every muscle around your core. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started so that we can keep things quick. You're going to need a mat for the floor work later on, and you're going to want your straps at mid-calf length. So if you lower them down to where the handle is just below your kneecap, that will put the foot cradles at mid-calf, okay, and you'll be set. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start on our timer so that we can launch into this workout, and we're going to get warmed up with these core moves. So the first is your TRX standing body saw. So you're going to face away from the anchor point and take your forearms through the foot cradles, all right? Parallel forearms, and you're going to start walking back just a light angle here, and all you're going to do is raise your arms overhead and back, kind of like you're sawing your arms straight forward and back down. Forearms are parallel, and if you want a little bit more, you're going to scoot back a little bit further, straightening the hips all the way, and all you're doing is raising the arms up and back. So the lower you get, the more you will feel. As you take those arms overhead, your abs might get a little bit shaky. That's okay a little bit, just don't take it too much far past that because that's kind of your warning sign that you're at your limit strength-wise. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to start with some TRX standing hip drops for your obliques. So if you know how to put your straps in single handle mode, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, just drop one of those straps and hold on to the other one. We're going to go hands on our head facing sideways to the anchor point, feet down just a little bit, and all we're going to do here is drop our hip away from the anchor and then pick it back up to where in kind of like a diagonal plank, standing plank. I've got my hands directly on the crown of my head. I'm trying to look forward because it's really tempting to look down here, but I'm trying not to lose my plank. So I'm trying to stand up nice and tall. When I'm at the top here, all my joints are aligned, kind of in a diagonal line here. And I'm feeling this in my right obliques. So the sides of your torso. One more here and back up. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So when I turn around, I want to make sure I'm sideways to my anchor point. I'm going to put both hands on this handle on the crown of my head, and I'm going to start walking towards the anchor. All right, so right here I'm in a straight line. I'm going to drop my hips away from the anchor point and then back to that straight line. Drop my hips away. Now I'm still working even in this straight line. So if I come all the way up, I'm not working anything because now my hips are over my feet and they're just chilling. So I'm trying to stay in a working zone this whole way through. So when I bring my hips up, I can still feel those obliques stabilizing here. I'm trying to look forward rather than down. We've got 7 seconds to go here, and I'm trying to keep my shoulders relaxed away from my ears and rest. So we're going to take a TRX torso rotation. So keeping this just one handle, I'm going to grab it with both hands, straighten my arms out, and then take a nice wide stance here. I'm going to straighten my hips, and I'm going to take my arms to the side, pulling myself up, and then I'm going to lower them right back down and then go to the other side. While I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep my arms straight, and I'm trying to keep my hands in front of my sternum all the way through. So my shoulders and hips are kind of coming with me, and then I'm controlling back. If you don't feel anything, get a little bit deeper. You should be able to do this with almost completely straight arms. I've got a slight bend in the elbow, but I'm not like bending my arms and straightening them out, okay? I'm trying to guide them over this way and then back down. All right, TRX back extension. So take your straps apart or go ahead and grab that other handle if you dropped one. We're going to stand facing the anchor point, and you're going to take your arms overhead and then feet wide so you're standing in a giant X shape with your arms and legs. I'm going to rock back to my heels, fold myself in half at the hips, look down, and then come all the way back, flat-footed, and then rise up on my toes. Drop to the heels, fold myself in half, look at the floor, come through flat feet, and then up to my toes. My arms are kind of coming forward, and then they're raising overhead as I come all the way up through that straightening. So I'm kind of bending at the hips, reaching the tailbone back, And then driving, as I come back up, I'm going to drive my hips forward, knuckles overhead, come to that end phase and be done. Okay, we've got TRX kneeling rollout. So here's where you're going to start kneading your mat. So I'm going to go to my knees on the ground, facing away from the anchor point. I'll show you a harder level in just a minute. If you already know the kneeling rollout and you want to face the anchor, go for it. So I'm going to straighten my hips. I'm straightening my arms overhead until I feel my abs, and then I'm going to come right back down. Got a nice long, kind of chilled out neck here, so I'm not chicken pecking my head forward as I come through this, and I'm just rolling out and then back up. Like I said, if you want a harder motion, face the anchor point as long as there's not a wall or a door in front of you, and you're going to come a little bit further out and then all the way back up. You got to do that with straight hips though. My shoulder doesn't like that version, so I'm just going to scoot myself back and try to get a lot of range of motion here. All right, we're going TRX crunches now. So this is kind of like the middle section where everything is suspended. Feet are up. I'm going to grab my foot cradles, put my toes up through the bottom of them, and then roll over so I can get in a nice plank position. We've got 40-second sets of these. So you could be on your hands or your forearms. You're going to kick your heels back up on the handles, lift your hips as you pull your knees in, and then straighten your hips as you take your legs out. Lift the hips, knees in, straighten the legs, hips back. Lift the hips, knees in, heels to handles as you straighten the legs. All right, so up and back. If you already know this one and you want to try a different version, you can do a single leg crunch, leaving the other leg where it is, just for something different. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we're going to go into some side planks. Now these ones are short, but there's 3 of them with very little rest in between. So I'm going to be on my side now, sideways to the anchor point. My top foot is in front, and I'm going to even out my feet and push them together, heel to toe. Lift up for your first 15-second plank. Your hips are high. If your feet are totally still, you can try taking that arm off if you want. We're just holding this first one. And hand down, hips down. Super short break. We're going right back. Ready, set, and go. Second set. Now, you can continue to hold just still. If you want to try another option, take the leg splits out and back together. I'm taking my feet out, holding them for a second, and bringing my heel back to my toe. And hand down, hips down. All right, one last set. Stay here and take it up. Find your balance. Stay there. If you want to try a little pike, turn underneath you, tap the floor behind you, back in, hand down, hips down. Let's go to the other side. So roll to your stomach. You're going to flip over to the other side. Your top foot should already be here in the front. Make sure you're in line with your anchor point, heel to toe here. I'm going to bring my elbow under my shoulder, put my top hand on the ground, and I'm going to press my hips up here. So again, I'm getting my hips high, taking my arm off only if my feet are still, and I'm just holding this one. 3, 2, 1, hand down, hips down. Second set, if you took the leg splits on the other side, take them on this side. So find your plank first, find your balance second, take the legs apart, and then heel back to toe. Take the legs apart, heel back to toe. We got time for one more rep. Ooh, hand down, hips down. Third set, hardest one. If you want to try that pike, find your plank, find your balance. From here, pull your hips up, reach underneath you, tap the floor behind you, come back down, find the plank again before you come to the floor, hand down, hips down. All right, come back to center. We've already started with our regular crunches. We're going to our oblique crunches now, just to add a little torso twist. We're getting into some different angles and making sure we're working every muscle in the core. So hit your plank, heels kick back onto the handles. From here, draw both knees towards one elbow, kick the heels back, legs straight. Both knees to the other elbow, kick the heels back, legs straight. If you ever need a rest, take it, and then you can pop right back up. Knees to one elbow, heels back, knees to the other elbow, heels back. You can look at your knees as they come in. Send those legs out. Make sure you kick the heels back on the handles every time. Other side. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going to go heels in here. I'm going to make my foot cradles a little bit bigger. We've got some reverse planks. All right, I'm going to do this quickly. Try to keep these short and sweet. So, last one suspended. I'm going to take my heels into the foot cradles, sit up, point my fingers out to the sides. I'm going to roll my shoulders back as I press my feet forward towards the anchor, lift my hips, look up at the ceiling, and come back down. Now, I can let my hips rest or roll the shoulders back, press the hips up. If I want a harder option, I can pull the hips through my hands, and that will give me a harder option for my shoulders and also for my abs. So you're getting shoulders, you're getting back, you're getting booty, you're getting hamstrings. And if you do that pull through, abs too. Roll the shoulders back to make room, look up at the ceiling, and then come back down. All right, guys, we are almost done. I'm gonna take this back underneath here. We're not gonna do that exercise, I took it out. So we are gonna do some leg drops. So I'm gonna drop my head back under the anchor point. So from here, I'm gonna put my hands in the foot cradles, okay? And I'm gonna press my arms straight down to create some tension in the straps. Now, we're gonna do some leg drops. Option 1, if you've got any back issues, or maybe you're just starting to work on some core, bent knees, one leg at a time. Option 2, go ahead and start both legs at the same time, bent. Option 3, single leg drop. Everybody's going. You can practice these as you want. And then option 4, both legs go and back up. So either one leg or two. Bent legs is easier, straight legs is harder. I'm pressing down with straight arms. My palms are down in the foot cradles. I'm almost finished here. We've got this exercise and one more left, and then we stretch. I told you this is going to be fast. We're getting the abs and the hip flexors, and if you're pressing down with those arms, triceps and lats too. Whew. Rest. Okay, last one. Same thing with the leg drops. We're just doing an oblique leg drop this time, which means we're going at an angle, okay, oblique angle. So arms out, pressing down in those foot cradles, legs up. I'm gonna twist my hips a little bit, pick one hip up off the floor, drop my legs down towards the corner of my mat, and then pick them back up and come to the center. Other side. Hip off, drop the legs down. The lower you go, the harder it is, so you don't have to go super far your first couple of reps. And then I'm switching sides. Now, my arms are gonna wanna swing to the other side here, but by pressing them straight down and trying to keep them still, that's gonna give me the leverage to be able to lift my legs back up. My head and neck are chilling on the floor, okay? So your neck doesn't have to be straining a whole lot here. Make sure you're breathing so you don't blow a gasket. And rest. Okay, like I said, that was really fast. So you can take some extra time to stretch on your own, but if you'd like to take a quick child's pose, you can. And then if you'd like to take a quick upward facing dog, here, legs can be on or off, or just a simple cobra stretch for the abs. That'll probably feel really good, okay? Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you next time.